Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas. Excuse me. As I that was great. Welcome to Saturday Morning Blast Off. That's a good start to a Saturday there, huh? Wow. I thought I got that all out of my system, but no, it didn't happen. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully the stream holds better than my throat did just then. Because damn, I don't know what the fuck that was, but yeah. All right. So while some people are trickling in, let me take care of some business and then I'll get to some of the lesser news is what I'll do. And then I'll get to the headlines. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end of this video. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the kind of stuff that you've been watching and tries to match as best as possible one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. Up here is going to be Star Wars: The Clone Wars, what's going to be up there. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below there. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at this schedule that's up there. I change it out every week. I also mirror it on my Facebook page. And speaking of Facebook, there's a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and talk amongst yourselves. On suspendedfanimation.com, I have the links to my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Patreon page, but there's no tier set up as yet. Hey, Feisty, how's it going? And Stanley Tweedle as well, and Penn. The best out of the three mods that I have. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So Sony decided they're going to move Spider-Man 3 to November 2021 for the release date. And I guess there's something in Spider-Man 3 that kind of relates to both Doctor Strange 2 and Thor Love and Thunder. So those have both been moved back to 2022 release dates now because of the Spider-Man move. Hopefully Sony actually talked to, Marvel about all this before they did it, but hey, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's no excuse, Penn. Yeah. If you have other mods, there is only Penn. I know. Yeah, I know. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting that they are moving that stuff around, and it seemed kind of like, I don't know, maybe Marvel Disney, whatever, got kind of pissed. That's what it looked like anyway. That's what it sounded like from the article I was reading. Because it sounded like they had to, they had already moved some of their movies already, and then having to remove their movies again a second time. Yeah, I would be kind of pissed at Sony, and I can almost guarantee you that's Amy Pascal's doing right there, because they don't have anything in place. They didn't have anything in place before the COVID-19 shutdowns happened and all that stuff. So, yeah. But anyway, what else is going to happen there? So let me get to some of the big news here. One of the big news items, I should say. So it was just announced this week that a quote-unquote female-centric Star Wars series is being developed for Disney Plus by Leslie Headland. Now, if Leslie Headland doesn't sound familiar to you, she is one of the writers, one of the creators of Russian Doll, which is a great Netflix series, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, and it's got a second season coming up too, second and third season. Now you're going to go, oh, fuck, a female-centric Star Wars series. Supposedly it's going to be set in an alternate timeline. And again, I'm quoting here, an alternate timeline, and it's going to have martial arts. To quote a lot of characters from Star Wars, I have a bad feeling about this. I love Russian Doll, but at the same time, the immediately when you start saying female-centric, or you gender centrify something, or you instead of just saying we're making a new Star Wars series, it raises bells in my head. It raises bells in a lot of people's heads when this happens. Just say, hey, we're going to make a new Star Wars series, and it's going to be set in an alternate universe and it's going to have martial arts. Perfect. That it has a female lead in it. You don't need to actually state that until you start filming and go, oh yeah, it's going to be based around this character, kind of like the Mandalorian. It's based around the Mandalorian. Yeah. Feisty says, no, just do it and don't say anything. Exactly. Just say we're making another Star Wars series for Disney Plus. Here it is. That's all you got to do. That's really all you got to do. The fans will let you know whether or not they like it or not. So, again, I think this goes back to the rift that we keep seeing within Star Wars, within Disney, is Kathleen Kennedy's group, and then Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau's group, which seem to be two separate groups that are working on Star Wars, but they're doing two completely different things from what it seems like. Yeah. That's what I said too, Pam. When I read alternate universe, I was like, so it's in the Kelvin timeline? So it's in the episode 7, 8, and 9 timeline? Okay, I got it. So I don't need to see it then. Feisty says, why do they insist on pandering? Like, if it's written well, everyone will enjoy it. Exactly. Look at Ahsoka Tano. You got a female character who's a Jedi, who's the most interesting character that you've had in years, and started from an animated series. And I hated her to begin with, too. I mean, really, I did, because I was like, oh, shit. And her evolution within the series was so good that she's carried over into Rebels. She's now carrying over into the Mandalorian. She's moving over to live action. Books, you name it. She's also been in the movies as well. That was her voice in episode 9, even though she's not dead. So yeah, there you go. I really am enjoying her arc right now that we've got going on in the Clone Wars, and I know how it goes into Rebels as well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing her in the live action series as well. That's why I'm saying you don't need to say, oh, we're doing female centric, or we're doing, cis trans, or we're doing, just do the fucking show. Just say, hey, we're doing a sci-fi. Here's the genre we're doing it in. Hey, and when it comes out, it just so happens to have this character in it. There you go. You don't need to make a big deal about it. Your audience will find it. To quote another movie, if you build it, they will come. Stop trying to label every fucking thing. Just say, hey, we're making a sci-fi movie. Yes, that is a label, sci-fi, but still, that is a genre more than a label. It just kind of tells you what genre it's in. So, yeah, that's all you got to do. I mean, fuck, look at, Dispatches from Elsewhere, which is a great show. It happens to have a trans character in it. But did they say, hey, we're doing a show on AMC that's trans-centric? No, you didn't do that. They just said, hey, we're doing Dispatches from Elsewhere. It's this weird show. And here, it's about a puzzle that was based on, yeah. I agree with the Agent Feature. There are too many factions going on in Lucasfilm right now. And I think it's people trying to hold on to their jobs, quite honestly. And people that need to let go of their jobs for the most part. Viking Bitch says, that's what I enjoy so much about Dispatch from Elsewhere. They have a trans character that's actually the love interest and didn't say a word about it other than the two characters to each other. Exactly. Yeah. And if you had a problem with it, yeah, stop watching. That's pretty much it. It wasn't like it was all over the news everywhere, about it. It's all about claiming to be progressive, not about being. Yeah, it's this whole thing. Like, I don't know if you've watched TV lately, which, what else are you doing when you're sequestered at home? Well, other stuff as well. But there's a lot of commercials out there that are going, at this time, we care. No, you don't care about anybody. You just care about your money. And if you really cared about people, you'd actually be helping people instead of making a commercial, spending millions of dollars making a commercial about how much you care about your customers when really you don't. So that is how you do it. Do, don't say. That's all you have to do. Enough of that. So on May 27th, HBO Max is going to launch, and it's still going to cost. So if you have HBO Now right now, like a lot of people do, it's still going to cost the same, $14.95 a month. It's going to roll over. Your HBO Now is going to roll over in HBO Max. It's just now you're going to have access to all these Warner Brother owned channels like TNT, TBS, all that kind of stuff, Comedy Central, and all the programming that's Warner Brothers related as well. So you're going to have access to all of that on top of your HBO, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to tell you the truth. It's I was kind of leery about it at first, and then when I heard what they were doing, I was like, shit, all right, I can do that. That sounds good. You know, that's something I can stand behind, I can roll with. And considering I have HBO Now anyway, as it is, and it's going to roll over automatically, I don't have to do anything. That's perfect. And I'm not going to lose any functionality of HBO or anything like that, which is awesome. And they're not going to raise the price, hopefully. The other thing that we get on that same day when it launches on May 27th, all new, brand new Looney Tunes cartoons. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go to my my Facebook page, and I have a link in there for the Looney Tunes trailer, the new cartoon trailers. And there's some good stuff in there. Quite honestly, I liked it. They did some good animation. It looks like it's funny, unlike some stuff that's happened in the past. And they've updated the characters just a little bit without being overly annoying, where they're, it's not like Poochie from The Simpsons, Hey, dude, what's up? Philip A. Demick says, don't tell Anna they're making Ahsoka a Sith this season. It will break her heart. Yeah, they're not making Ahsoka a Sith. There's no way in hell, Philip. Not going to happen, considering that we already know what her arc is throughout Rebels and past what is it? Return of the Jedi. She is actually Jedi still. Well, she's not even a Jedi, as she says, "I am no Jedi." She is just her, which is awesome. Agent Future says HBO Max will raise the price after COVID-19. I don't think so. Agent Future, I really don't think so. They will later on down the line, most likely, but they're gonna have to add some content to that stuff otherwise, because I mean, you can get TBS and TNT stuff for free now for the most part, and some Comedy Central stuff as well, and you can always go over to Hulu and get it as well. So yeah. Speaking of HBO Max, the shrill housewife of New York liked Stargirl. The shrill house girl of New York. I don't know who that is, Stanley Tweedle. Stargirl hasn't come out yet. So once it does, I don't know how somebody got to take a look at it already, but hey, somebody with more connections than I've got. Viking Bitch says, I would be better. Oh, okay. You guys are talking amongst yourselves. Okay. Never mind then. What else do I have here? Excuse me. So Universal is going to be the new home to the Lego movies after their contract with Warner Brothers had expired. So the Lego movie people, I guess, had signed a 5-year contract with Universal, and this also gives them access to a new slew of Universal owned characters. Now, I don't know if this is still going to give them license to use Warner Brothers characters, Warner Brother owns characters like Batman, and which honestly, that's the best Batman. Quite honestly, the Will Arnett's Batman, Dark Batman, Metal. That's some good stuff. I know what it is, Viking bitch, but when I'm trying to read your stuff in there, I start reading and I'm like, oh, okay, this is something that's not as to what I'm talking about. So yeah. What else I got here? There's not that much news, of course, this week because you know, of what's happening. Oh, actually, this is some good stuff too. In case you were very surprised by this, pre-production is already underway for season 3 of The Mandalorian. That's right. They're already starting to work on scripts and whatnot for The Mandalorian season 3. I, for one, am very shocked. I didn't think this was going to get picked up for, a season 2, let alone. No, I'm kidding. Of course, they're working on a season 3. What else they've got to do? I mean, they're sitting at home, their mansions and whatnot, and they might as well do this at this point in time because yeah, they got nothing else better to do and wait until the shelter in place ends and they can start filming again. That's gonna be interesting. I mean, if we're still all in shelter in place, which from what it sounds like might be for quite a long more while through summer at least, is what I'm thinking. Then I don't know how they're gonna do movies and stuff like that. Do you film people individually on green screens and then composite them in together? And then how does that? I don't know. So yeah, I don't know how it's gonna happen. But what else are you gonna do? But yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2, which comes out later on this year, and then of course season 3 when they start getting into it. For those of you who watch Lucifer, I am not one of those people. Netflix, there was talk of a 6th season coming out, season number 6, and because we know it ended at season 5, but Netflix threw out the deal. Hey, we can do another season, and Warner Brothers, who actually owns the content, has been sending contracts to Tom Ellis, and he's been rejecting all of them. Supposedly, he wants some really ludicrous stuff. So, because of him rejecting these contracts, because of course he is the star of the show, season 6 is in jeopardy of happening at Netflix. That doesn't really concern me all that much, but I know some of you guys watch it out there, so there you go. I guess to himself he is Joe Greer. Honestly, I probably wouldn't recognize him on the street. I mean, I know what he looks like, but I probably wouldn't put 2 and 2 together walking down the street and if I saw him, because he's not that kind of presence to me in my head. Yeah. No. Yeah. Summer sun will cure the beer bug, Philip A. Demick. Yeah. I don't think so. Maybe you could put a light inside you. You can swallow a light. Who comes up with this dumb shit? Oh, that's right. I know who does. It's Dr. Baby Hands McAdderall that comes up with these stupid things. Yeah. Joker the Third says yes. It's oh, you guys are talking about something else again. So all right, never mind. Maybe I'm not just going to read the chat anymore for a couple of minutes. So, Sony is working on a live-action One Punch Man movie with the writers of Venom working on the script. Again, I know of One Punch Man. I know enough that it's popular, that it's a popular anime. I have never seen it myself. I know it revolves around superheroes. Yeah, I never got into it. I know people are like really, really, really into it that are into it. I'm just not one of those people. So yeah. Stanley Tweedle says, "What? That sounds stupid. What, about One Punch Man? Because I don't." So they're making a movie. Yeah. So I couldn't tell you anything about it. Will Cinemax be part of the HBO Max? You know, that's a good question, Agent Future. Initially, I heard that it was, and I haven't heard any mention of Cinemax being part of HBO Max this time around. But I guess since Warner Brothers owns them as well, it should be, since you're supposed to have access to all the Warner Brother owned channels and their content. So if you're looking for Skinemax, it should be on there. That's what I'm getting at. Stanley Twiddle says One Punch Man is good as an anime. Don't ruin it. It's under Sony, so good luck with that. Yeah. With a name like Max, it should be. I don't know. I just thought it was some executive that went HBO to the max. That's what we're gonna call it. HBO Max. HBO to the max, man. As he blows more coke up his ass. I'm sorry. That joke is never going to get old about coke being blown up an executive's ass. Future Man has ruined that completely for me forever, and it's going to just be funny forever. It really is. Butt chugging, exactly. That spawned an entire new hashtag of butt chugging. Philip A. Demick says, I'm oversimplifying for brevity. Fresh air is good. Okay. Yeah. I still get into work at least every other day because of what I do. So I telecommute one day and then I'm at work the next day. Telecommute, work, telecommute, work, telecommute, work, and so I get enough fresh air as it is because my work is down by the beach, even though it's closed off. It's the weirdest thing of seeing an entirely empty beach and no footprints on the beach whatsoever either. It's kind of creepy. I've taken pictures. We have a red tide going on down here right now, and it's the worst I've ever seen it. It actually looks like mud being churned up in the ocean. And it's just weird. It really is. Again, some weird shit that's happening down here in Southern California. Excuse me. I thought I got rid of all this, but I guess not. All right. So people are smarter in San Diego than in Florida? No, we have Floridians here too, Stanley Tweedle. They actually still have their license plate that let us know that they're from Florida. We also have Texans here as well. And I'm glad they leave their license plates on so we know how to avoid them. But no, San Diegans are not that bright either. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not from San Diego, so I can say that with a clear conscience. I'm not saying San Franciscans are any smarter either, but people, you got dumb people everywhere you go. That's all I'm going to say. What else? So, Marvel Studios has released the showrunners for both The Punisher and Hellstrom from their contracts. Now, that sounds very confusing because you're going to go, what the fuck? The Punisher isn't even being made anymore. It has been made for years. So what the hell's going on? So really what Marvel Studios has done is the Punisher showrunner, Steve Lightfoot, he had signed an overall deal with Marvel for future productions. And since they are no longer moving forward with that, they have released him from that contract. So Paul Zabowski, I think I said that right, who is the showrunner from Hellstrom, has also been released from his deal, his production deal from Marvel Studios after he finishes post-production on Hellstrom. Actually, he's already finished post-production on Hellstrom, which is going to be airing on Hulu as planned. Does this affect Hellstrom, which is supposed to be coming out on Hulu at all? Most likely, because this was all something that was under Jeff Loeb. And Marvel Studios has been sweeping house and getting rid of anything that had to do with Jeff Loeb. And that was one of the last things left that Loeb had touched. And I'm fairly sure that we're going to get a one and done season off of that one. So, yeah. Stanley Tweedle says not going to the beach. I mean, oh, you mean no, we actually so we had the not going to the beach thing going on, but now on Monday they have released that restriction as long as people keep social distancing. But what they're gonna do is if people don't listen to the social distancing thing, then the first offense is they're gonna close everything again for 24 hours. They'll reopen it again. And if people can't abide by that 6-foot clearance distance and face coverings, then they're going to close it down for a second time for 48 hours and reopen it again. And if people can't do that for a third time, then they're going to close it indefinitely until the shelter in place lifts, is what they said. They're doing a 3 strikes, which I'm perfectly good with, to tell you the truth. And the thing is, you can't be just like laying on the beach either. You need to be walking. So I believe in someplace down south. I can't remember which pier it is. There's a Santa Monica, the Santa Monica Pier. You can walk the Santa Monica Pier, walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth as many times as you like, but you can't fish off of it. You can't just stand there and fish. You can't rest against the railings, anything like that. You can't do anything like that. I don't know if we're living in a bad sci-fi movie right now, Agent Future. I don't see sharks flying from the sky. Yeah, I don't see anything like that. Yeah, Stanley Tweedle. As of May 1st, here in San Diego County, I should say, we're all going to have to wear face masks outside as well in public. So, yeah. And not just for shopping or anything like that. It's when you're outside in public, you need to wear a face mask. No, the production values are just because of the administration that we have going on right now. That's why the production values are so shitty, because they're severely overfunded, a lot like the Sci-Fi Channel. So I can see where the confusion is on that and how, yeah. So, but when the virus mutates to affect sharks, that could be next. It could be, because that shit does live in water, by the way. Yeah. There's a whole study going on right now about how COVID-19 can live in the water, of course, seawater, and when it sprays and you have the wind involved, it can go a lot farther than 6 feet. And I'm just going to say right now, there's sewage that gets pumped into the ocean. And the two ways that COVID-19 actually, two things that COVID-19 gets into the body, it goes through the mucous membranes, which is your eyes, your nose, your mouth. So, yeah, anything that's wet, pretty much. And it also goes through your digestive system. So, anybody going to the bathroom can spread that shit as well. No pun intended on that one. So, yeah. Yeah, I have a PI. One of my professors whose lab I oversees is actually doing research on that right now about this stuff spraying. She's actually very well known right now down here in Southern California because all the surfers are up in arms over her paper that she posted about that. So, Sweetwater Junction, I don't know, Stanley Tweedle. I think the Muppets are out of commission right now. Didn't Disney cancel that or something? That's what you're talking about, Sweetwater Junction, right? So, to no one's great surprise, Westworld has been renewed for a 4th season at HBO. And I'm liking the 3rd season. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's good. It's interesting, and I like where it's going so far. And if you haven't checked it out yet, on Sundays, that's a little plug, I actually do the review of the new episodes of Westworld. So that's gonna be tomorrow. Yeah. Ratings, I haven't seen the ratings for Westworld, Stanley Tweedle. All I know is that a lot of people are talking about it, and usually when people are talking about it, it usually means the ratings are good. When people aren't talking about something, then yeah. How about lakes? I like lakes, Stanley Tweedle. Penn Farm Girl says we have a lot of good TV right now. Yeah, we do. We do. I mean, come on. We got Westworld. We've got Dispatches from Elsewhere, which is ending on Monday, by the way. We've got Clone Wars. We've got Harley Quinn. You know, I'm not watching Tiger King. I don't care what kind of ratings it's getting. You know, CSI is a high rated show too. Doesn't mean I'm gonna fucking watch that shit. Yeah. Penn Farm Girl says, look at the archives. Exactly. Look at the archives. I've got lots of different reviews. Future Man, Harley. Exactly. And there's more stuff that's coming up too. I don't know what it is because I don't even know where my book is right now, to tell you the truth, with all my my scheduling at the moment. It's someplace around here. That's probably my backpack, which is sitting. That's why I keep looking in that direction, because my backpack is right there. It's almost within reach, but not quite. Not with me going out of frame. So I got one more piece of news here. We just open things up and go, how you doing? How you feeling? That kind of thing. So the Russo brothers are working on a couple of different things at the moment. They're working on a live action Battle of the Planets. They're going to do that as a TV series, supposedly. No word as to where that's going to land. They are finishing up some touches on their live action Grimjack series for Amazon, which I'm most excited about because Grimjack is a fucking awesome comic. And they're also working on their animated Magic the Gathering series for Netflix. That's a lot of stuff, quite honestly. So I love Battle of the Planets, or Gatchaman, as it was originally known in Japan, and some good stuff, really. Grimjack is going to be awesome. It's about a mercenary, an interdimensional mercenary. So there is a place called Crossroads, which is a town in the middle of the crossroads of all the interdimensional areas, where he gets hired out for different jobs in different dimensions. And so you have monsters, demons, humans, all this stuff, all in this place called Crossroads. And it's very gory. And it's also got a good story to it, too. And I'm interested to see how they're going to do this on Amazon. And it's the Russo brothers. So I'm definitely looking forward to this, because if you haven't seen the other Russo brother thing that just came out yesterday on Netflix called Extraction, you might want to watch that. That's actually based off another graphic novel too, and Joe Russo wrote the script for it, and it stars Chris Hemsworth. So yes, you're right, Joe Greer. The other name, it's known by a couple different names. So Science Ninja Team Gatchaman is actually what the original title was. And so, but yeah, Gatchaman is what it kind of goes by now, for the most part. Over here in the United States, when they redubbed it and kind of monkeyed with the plot a little bit, they called it Battle of the Planets. So yeah. Stanley Trio says, wow, all the excitement of Magic the Gathering in TV form. It's gonna be a lot more exciting than watching people playing cards, Stanley Tweedle. It's actually based in the world of it. Yeah. Pan Farm Girl says, oh no, another addition to my long Netflix queue. Yeah. Yes, I will be doing Is It Worth My Time? I just need to take a little break, since I've been doing 6 days a week for a couple of weeks here. So I want to wait till a few series end, and then I can get a little bit of rest, and then I'll come back and I'll do some stuff. Most likely in May is what I'll be doing some more Is It Worth My Time, because I still need to do Is It Worth My Time Horse Girl. I need to do Is It Worth My Time Picard season 1. Yeah. Extraction, and there's a few other things too here and there. What'd you think of Rover last night, Joker, when you watched it? I know it's slow, but the payoff on the end, man, is fucking awesome, I think. Drop Elsewhere. I will drop Elsewhere, Stanley Tweedle, on May the 4th. May the 4th, it'll be dropped. How about that for you? Because this week is its season finale, and it's probably its series finale as well. I know, I know. I knew you knew. I just wanted to kill the joke. That was all. I think he went to the high seas for Rover pen. That's usually what Joe, I think, has done before. Joker says it's cool. I like watching Aussie stuff. Somebody on the Rotten Tomatoes says it's more like the Proposition than Mad Max. Yeah, it's not Mad Max at all. What is Rover? So Rover is a movie with Guy Pearce in it. It's set in Australia in the near future, where there is it's kind of post-apocalyptic in that society is falling apart. Water is scarce, gas is scarce, and it's a man whose car is stolen, and he travels through the outback of Australia trying to get his car back. Yeah, that's all I can tell you. Other than that, I don't want to ruin any more of it for you than that. It's very slow. It's a slow movie. It's a slow burn. It's actually written by Joel Edgerton. If you know who Joel Edgerton is, the actor, he and Guy Pearce, I think, know each other or are friends or something like that. But he wrote the script for it. Guy Pearce starred in it, and it's actually pretty damn good. I liked it. I saw it in the theater when it came out. I happened to be near a theater at the time that was showing it because it was limited release, and I was very impressed by it. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's very much out in the outback, and going after a car and all that stuff, but it's not that at all. It's kind of a reality check of how people would really act if shit started happening where society deteriorates. It's a kind of a more of a realistic look of how that would happen than people wearing assless chaps and mohawks and you know metal hockey masks. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know, Viking bitch, but Rover is not 8 hours long. It's an hour and a half, almost, a little less than 2 hours long. Whereas Devs is 8 hours, and quite honestly, I was burned out after the first hour. I still haven't gone back. I was actually looking at stuff to watch last night, and I saw it in my queue of things on Hulu, and I was like, nah, I don't need that. I don't want to watch that. Yeah. Yeah, I know you like assless chaps, Viking Mitch. Let Fanobi out of the basement already, or out of his bonds, or whatever you've got going on over there. I mean, the poor guy needs to eat once in a while. Penn says, "Oh, it's in Netflix. Okay, it is over on Netflix. All right." Yes, I know assless chaps are not for everyone. You want me to ruin assless chaps for you, Viking bitch, with a image in your head? All I'm going to say is it involves the Folsom Street Fair in San Francisco and no porta potties. That's all I can say to you on that one. And yeah, I have seen things I cannot unsee in when I lived in San Francisco. That's why there's not a lot of shit that shocks me. Philip A. Demick says, "Oh, did they say New Mutants or some other Marvel was coming out on Hulu?" No, not that I heard of. You don't want me to stand up? What? Yeah. Am I salty today? I haven't noticed. I don't know if they're doing R-rated. Excuse me. I don't know if they're doing R-rated Marvel or not, but Pornhub is doing X-rated Marvel if you want that. It's not legit Marvel, but it's as close as you're gonna get. I think they're doing X-rated DC as well. Hey, Marks. See, I mentioned Pornhub, and Marks shows up. See how that goes? Oh man. Yeah. Oh, I was going to mention this. I forgot when I was mentioning Westworld being renewed for season 4. So Ed Harris does not like how his character is progressing right now in season 3 of Westworld. In fact, he's kind of pissed about it. He has gone on record as saying he really does not like where the Man in Black is going. And he said when he read it in the script, he got really, really, really fucking upset about it. And now I guess he is called the Man in White because of what he was wearing after he I don't know, I can't say anything because if you didn't watch last week's episode, which some of you haven't, and even though I have a spoiler alert sign right above my back here, Pen Farmer Girl says, I heard the X-rated Captain Marvel was much better than Brie. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly, she's not a good actress, and she just doesn't emote, I guess you could say, and yeah. She wouldn't have been my first choice, let's just say. She wasn't my first choice for Captain Marvel. I know I said Katie Sackhoff at one point, and you know, I would even go so far as to, if I were to recast Captain Marvel right now, get Brie Larson out of there. I would go with the lead that's playing in Motherland right now. This is skewing kind of younger, of course, but Taylor, God, I can't remember her last name. She's the one that got cut, in that horror movie that I was telling you about. I think I talked about it last week. But yeah, I would go with her, to tell you the truth. She actually looks the part, and she has, uh, I don't know, this kind of anger that you can see within her all the time, kind of thing. And I think it's probably from the cut, most likely. But yeah, Emma Stone, no, I don't think Emma Stone would be right for the part. Captain Marvel is more military. Um, and I never liked the character in the comics to begin with. I should say I didn't like the current version of Captain Marvel in the comics. I liked Maria Rambeau in the comics. That's my Captain Marvel, which they introduced Maria Rambeau, but as, you know, Carol Danvers' friend. So yeah, I was not, or actually, Carol Danvers' friend's daughter is what they did. And I'd be happy with that, quite honestly, since now we had the blip and she's supposed to be, what, 5 years older. So she's supposed to be, I guess, 19, 18, 19, somewhere around there. So I would love to have her take over, and have Maria Rambeau be the new Captain Marvel. Yeah. That was in another life, Dennis. Stanley Tweedle, go in the corner. Stanley Joe Greer says Motherland is my new my show. Yeah, it's a different show. It's freeform, quite honestly. It's not something I'm ever going to cover, but it's something that I watch because it's interesting. I like the alternate history portion of it. And yeah, they do good. They did go the I speak good one day. They do good work with the a little amount of money that they actually have. So they actually spend their shit wisely, unlike the CW. Um, yeah. I still love the fact that Future Man, and it took me a little while to get this, in episode 3, Trapper's Delight, that they did. They all have these really bad beards and bad toupees, and it's an homage to the CW bad beard and toupees that they use for the island stuff on that, which I thought was hilarious. Brie Larson's fans demand she step down to give it to a gay black woman. I'd be okay with that, tell you the truth, Philip A. Demick. I mean, like I said, I really don't like the Carol Danvers character. I've never liked the Carol Danvers character. She's just boring. And Monica Rambeau is so much better and had so much more personality and actually had feelings, things like that, and interpersonal relationships. And it's shit that Carol Danvers doesn't have. And all right, the less said about that, the better. So what else we got going on? I finished Jedi: The Fallen Order. That's why I looked over there. I was like, what else do I have going on? And I was like, I finally got to the end of Jedi Fallen Order. I think that's the first video game I've actually ever finished, to tell you the truth, in a long, 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 long time. And for me, as a non-avid gamer, it still felt kind of short. I mean, you only have 4 planets that you can go to, and it felt kind of short to me. The ending wasn't that satisfying, to tell you the truth. Yeah, just was not having fun with it. I should say I was having fun with the game. I didn't have fun with the ending. The ending was kind of abrupt, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, you deal with Vader. You meet Vader, I should say, and then you run from Vader. That's pretty much what it is. You meet Vader and you run from Vader. And that's pretty much what it is at the end. I know they call him the final boss, but you really only mash a couple of buttons and do a slide and a wall run and a flip, and you're out. That's pretty much what it is. And a couple of parries with the lightsaber. That's what that was, a parry with the lightsaber. It wasn't anything else. That just looks wrong. There really isn't a throwdown, quite honestly, with Vader. Still better than the story of Rise of the... Yeah. Yeah, that the less said about episodes 7, 8, and 9, the better. Philip A. Demick says, I do like Monica better. I just like the irony of Brie fans turning on her in this climate. I don't need to see Monica in that white costume with the weird arm wings kind of thing. I don't need to see that. I really don't. Although the white and black costume would be fucking badass, to tell you the truth. It would make her stand out in the crowd. It really would. Especially the one that has the kind of stars in the black field there. That would be a kick-ass costume for Monica Rambeau. But yeah, you don't need to do the arm wings. The what is it? The streamer that came from the armpit and then swung down and then attached to the wrist or something like that. For me, it always seemed like a safety hazard that was going to get caught in some machinery or something like that. And, yeah, I honestly don't remember how the power was passed on, Stanley Tweedle. It's been decades, and I can't remember. I mean, that's from the 80s to the 80s to the 90s is when they switched over to Carol Danvers. And I don't think I was reading that stuff at that point in time. Yeah. I really don't remember offhand. Yeah. So, what else do I have coming up? Tomorrow is going to be Westworld. That's right, Westworld season 3. I'm actually covering that. Come on in, and we can always have more people in the chat. It's always good. Monday is going to be Dispatches from Elsewhere, the season and probably most likely series finale of Dispatches from Elsewhere on AMC. It's all self-contained from what it looks like this season, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it, quite honestly. Give it a shot if you haven't already. It's on AMC. Tuesday is Future Man season 3. I'm going episode by episode. And then, of course, Wednesday and Thursday I'm off because I'm taking a little bit of a break. And Friday I come back with a double header of Harley Quinn and Star Wars, The Clone Wars. That's right, the final season of Star Wars, The Clone Wars. And then, of course, Saturday is Saturday morning blast off. All right. Yes, that's right. Westworld's penultimate episode. You're right. Yeah, there was no glitching today, Pen. I was kind of surprised. I've been looking at the counter to see if it's, but no, they might have done something to their bandwidth finally. Because yeah, new room on Friday, possibly. You're not going to notice pretty much of a difference, to tell you the truth. I'm still moving this stuff behind me that way. You're probably going to notice that there's going to be no DVDs because they're going to be replaced with books, because I have more and more books. I've got books and books and books and books. And I need some place to put them anyway. Yeah. So that might actually happen. Yeah, it's I got my cable in that my shielded LAN cable that runs all the way from my cable modem out here to the bedroom in there. So have I read any of my books? Yes, I have. All my books that I have up there I've read, except for the Venture Brothers one I've thumbed through. Philip A. Demick says the thing is Captain Marvel is not a standalone character. She's meant to be the leader of the Avengers when Captain America is not around. Yeah, exactly. Maybe less people in your area on the interwebs. They're probably outside. I don't think so, Morks. It's supposed to be another 90-degree day here today, and yesterday was fucking brutal. It was really fucking brutal. I mean, I stayed inside with the air conditioning on, and there weren't many people out there because I had to go out. Long story short, I had to go get my car serviced, and the car dealership is fairly close by. It's less than a mile away, and I walked to go get my car back, and fuck, it was hot out there, but there weren't that many people. There were a lot of people driving around like idiots, but yeah. You saw lots of people going to the beach. The beaches here do not open until Monday, Marks, and then you're supposed to keep your distance, and also people are supposed to have face coverings on and all that kind of stuff. See, if you got here on time, you would have heard of all this because I went through all this stuff to begin with. But you only got here when I mentioned Pornhub. Philip A. Demick says, snowed here in Troy, New York. Wow. Yeah, I saw the temperature map, and they said all the western and southern states is abnormally high, and then everything above that is abnormally low. Excuse me. Which is just weird. But we have no effect on the environment whatsoever. No human interaction has any effect on the environment whatsoever. So I think in this short amount of time, that everyone's been sheltering in place, and we've seen the gigantic interactions that have happened within the environment just from a few short months, 2 months of inactivity, roughly a month and a half of inactivity. You think maybe that someone in the government might get the clue that the two are fucking related? Probably not, but so yeah. Mork says, yeah, the YouTube notifications are tied to porn mentions. Well, there's also this thing called a schedule, Morks, that's on suspendedfanimation.com and also on my Facebook page as well. So that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I know. People that are in the government are not the most reliable sources of clarity or, lucidity or logic. Yeah. I mean, come on. We got some idiot telling people to drink bleach or inject disinfectants into them, What the fuck was that all about? Then the idiot goes on and goes, oh, just being sarcastic. No, you weren't. You're being a fucking moron. Like normal. Yeah. Anyway, with that said, how do I really feel about that? Have I injected any disinfectants into myself lately, Stanley Tweedle? No, because I actually have a fucking brain. Oh, man. Ugh. And also, I don't have ready access to needles either, I should say. I probably could go out to the homeless encampment nearby and pick some up fairly cheap. But there's no bleach left on the shelves, so I'm shit out of luck injecting myself with any bleach. Yeah, no one could, Stanley, really. But I'm not going to go political here, even though I already have multiple times already. I'm trying to think what else is coming up at all, and movie wise and all that. You know what? Let's see if I can grab the book. Huh. I do have the book. The Jack Daniels book, which is the stuff of legends. Let's see. We're done with March, right? Yeah, we're in April. And into May. All right. So yeah, it's pretty much from what it looks like coming up in May, it's just Future Man, Harley Quinn, and Saturday Morning Blast Off. Because Westworld is supposed to be ending. Yeah. Westworld ends on the 3rd. There we go. So I'm about to find something new and also start up Is It Worth My Time? So probably on the 10th is when I'm going to start up Is It Worth My Time again. 10th or the 11th, something like that is what I'll do. Yeah, I'm not going to be covering Stargirl in May. It's, from what I understand, it's less than a CW show, so I'm not going to bother with that. It's just not worth it. We'll see if some other stuff pops up. Usually something does and saves my ass. I mean, I plan it that way, and it works out really well for my scheduling. And Snowpiercer. I don't know if I could do Snowpiercer. Tell you the truth, Stanley Tweedle. Even though it has Jennifer Connelly in it, and she's still hot, I don't think I could do it. I really don't. It's on TNT one, and I'm just not a big fan of. I mean, the movie was okay, but doing an entire television series of this, I can't see it happening, to tell you the truth. I really can't. I don't know. I might branch out. Oh, I did see something interesting. There is a Netflix series that's Korean that is coming out weekly on Netflix, or was coming out weekly on Netflix. I think the entire first season already came out, and it's called it's a cop that loses his eyes and is framed for his wife's murder as well during that whole thing, and he ends up getting new bionic implant eyes. His team, he's now actually they fake his death, and they're going after these people that are in corrupt government. Basically, yeah, that's what it is. And I'm looking to see what it is because I can't remember offhand what the name of it is, and it's not Ultraman, that's for sure. I'm looking and I'm looking, and I can't find it now. It's just one word, and it's the name of the team, quite honestly, and it's really hard to find. So when I find it, I will. I'll let you guys know what it is. But that was kind of interesting. I was actually watching that, and actually, I have my list. There we go. That works a lot better. I'm trying to look at it here instead of on my app, and it's really difficult to find anything on there. Yeah, I don't know where it's at. But it had like a one-word title. It was the name of the team, and it was like Boosker, or I forget what it was called now. But interesting, like one guy has a bionic arm. One guy has, his eyes. The other guy, his internal organs are basically his intestines and all that kind of stuff. They're robotic. They keep his other systems alive, but he needs to keep them recharged. Otherwise, he'll die. And another guy has tech abilities. And I forget what the girl has offhand. I don't think they've actually mentioned what hers is. So, yeah. But it was oh yes, it does start with an R. Thank you, Joe Greer. Rugal. Is that what it is? Rugal, Rugal, something like that. I can't remember offhand. It's a really weird name. That's why. It's Korean. It is in Korean with subtitles. I think you can do the English dubbed version as well. So that's always good stuff. But it's got some action involved in it and all that kind of stuff too. There you go. Space Force. Yeah, I'll take a look at Space Force when it comes out. Stanley Tweedle. That looks kind of fun. Plus, it's on Amazon, I think is what it is. The only thing I hate about Amazon shows, Rugal. Thank you. Yes, Rugal. That's it. The only thing I don't like about Amazon is they drop everything all at once, and you can't do a proper review unless you just do a one-off. And that's what I was kind of liking about Rugal. I think Amazon was, or not Amazon, Netflix was trying to toy with the idea of a weekly release and see how that worked, since Disney Plus was retaining people that way by doing weekly releases. That's the other thing I was watching on Disney Plus. Justin Long. You remember Justin Long? I know a lot of people don't. He is hosting a game show on Disney Plus called Shop Class, where it's usually two kids and an adult. The adult's usually a shop teacher, and you have three groups that are they give them something to build, like say a fort or a skateboard ramp or something like that, and they give them some materials, and they've got 3 days in order to build it, and then they have to, basically it's tested out and all that kind of stuff, and then whoever gets, has the most creative ideas and whatnot wins, and then they keep moving on up, and then it's a game show is really what it is. Uploads on Amazon now. Okay. Yeah, it dropped all at once, and I like I said, I really fucking hate when they drop everything all at once. Space Force is Netflix in Europe. Oh, Space Force is a real thing now in the U.S. government. I still can't believe there's a fucking Space Force in the U.S. government when we have no fucking space fleets. Yeah. We have really no way of getting into space other than hopping on a Soyuz rocket, but we've got a Space Force. That's just comedy that fucking writes itself. It really is. Yeah. So I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Thank you, everybody who joined me today in the chat. And thank you for making it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops at the very end here. If you like what you see there, hit the subscribe button, like, share, and subscribe. Also up here is going to be Star Wars Clone Wars, the latest one that pops up there. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. Or the best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at my weekly schedule, and all the links to my social media are there as well. So thank you. And until tomorrow for Westworld, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Or otherwise, you may end up, I don't know, trying to go to the beach when it's supposed to be blocked off and spreading shit around. Just stay home. Wash your hands. Pet your dog, whatever. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have fun and stay safe out there. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your day.